indignant than anyone else when someone has carelessly caught, let us say, a cold. And these walking anatomical museums there invariably instruct others with great authority how to get rid of this cold. And it is precisely they alone who write various books and manuals concerning all kinds of other diseases there, and expound in minute detail how to guard against and get rid of them. At every step, one might also observe such an absurdity as this. One of them, who even does not know in the least what that ordinary tiny being which often bites him, called flea, looks like, writes a huge volume or draws up a special what is called popular lecture, that the flea whose bite made the neck of a certain historical king Nokan swell had on its left paw an abnormal orange-crimson growth of a peculiar strange form. Well then, if this expert in fleas there will write his voluminous work, or if he will read for a whole evening his popular lecture on the orange-crimson growth on the mentioned flea, then if anyone will not believe him and will express his doubt to his face, he will not only be offended, but even greatly indignant. And he will be indignant chiefly because this somebody is such a what is called ignoramus, that he has even not yet heard anything about the truths communicated to him by this expert. Thanks to all the aforementioned, such pictures are met with at every step there on your planet in the existence of these strange three-brained beings, that only from observing and studying them, every normal being existing there, if he will indeed take in and study his perceptions, might become fully instructed in all branches of general objective science. For the satisfying of your favorite's astonishingly strange need I mentioned, as is said there, not to suffer, they must always have at least one victim for their teachings. But among a number of them who have acquired for some reason or other in these manifestations of theirs a certain authority over others, and who have become in consequence by increasing habit more impudent, the appetite grows to the point of acquiring an always greater number of these victims. Yes, my boy, when you will exist among them and will be a witness of these incongruous being manifestations, then even in spite of the fact that you know the cause of these incongruities, you will be unable, as they express it, not to laugh inwardly, and at the same time with the whole of your being you will pity these unfortunates. And with your inner laughter there will gradually be mixed by itself what is called an essence Palnasurian grief. The same particularity of the psyche of the three-brained beings there is especially strongly developed there among the beings belonging to their caste called the intelligentsia. The word intelligentsia itself almost denotes that notion there which we define by the words force in oneself. Yet, though by its essence the word intelligentsia has there almost the same sense, nevertheless, the beings there, particularly the contemporary ones, for some reason or other, call by this word just those beings who are the exact opposite of what this word denotes. The word intelligentsia is also taken from the ancient Greek language. It is interesting to notice that this same word was used also by the Romans, but having taken from the Greeks not by its sense, but by its sound, they later imagined that the roots of this word belonged to their own language. But among the ancient Greeks, this word denoted a being so perfected that he was already able to direct his functions as he wished, and not, for instance, as occurs with every what is called inanimate cosmic formation, every action of which proceeds only as a reaction to external causes. Such beings, no doubt, are also still met with there on your planet, as approximately answer to this sense of the word, but only among those contemporary beings of the planet Earth who are considered, according to the understanding of most of the beings there, as unintelligent. In my opinion, if those beings, especially of the most recent times who are called their intelligentsia, would simply be called mechanogentsia, then perhaps this would be more correct. It would be more correct because the contemporary intelligentsia there can themselves not only give absolutely no direction at all to their being functions, but there are already finally atrophied in them even those data for impulses of essence initiative for daily being existence, which in general are always placed by Great Nature herself in all three-centered beings at their arising. During their responsible existence, these intelligentsia beings there always act or manifest only when they receive corresponding shocks from outside. And it is these same shocks proceeding from outside which give them the possibility of becoming correspondingly animated and of experiencing, only through the unrolling of the series of former corresponding automatic perceptions already present in them, and not depending at all on their own wish or will. And these external shocks of theirs for the said kind of experiencing are usually, in the first place, animate or inanimate things accidentally coming within the sphere of their organs of perception of visibility. Secondly, the various beings they met. Thirdly, the sounds or words reverberating where they happen to be. Fourthly, scents accidentally perceived by their sense of smell. And finally, unaccustomed sensations that proceed from time to time during the functioning of their planetary body, or as they say, their organism, and so on. But never do their outer manifestations in general, nor those inner being impulses of theirs, which ought to be under the directive of their being I, proceed according to their own wish, resulting from the whole of their entire presence. I must here tell you further that certain of those terrestrial intelligensics, in whom during the period of their responsible existence certain already established forms of their inner functioning have, for various reasons, become definitely changed, are no longer called by other terrestrial beings intelligensics, but are given other names composed of different words, or more exactly of the roots of the words of ancient Greek. Namely, they name them bureaucrats, plutocrats, theocrats, democrats, zebrocrats, aristocrats, and so on. The first of the names enumerated, namely bureaucrats, is given to those intelligensics in whom the series of their ordinary automatic associations already present in them, which engender experiencings, are limited. That is to say, however varied the shocks coming from without may be, associations are evoked in these bureaucrats of always the same experiencings, which, thanks to the frequent repetition, acquire their own specific character and manifest quite independently without the participation